What's up, everyone? Cable Guy here. Trying something a little bit different today. So, here's a funny little road story that happened to me several months ago. I go down to East Stroudsburg and do the show with Justin Credible, Jill, and my traveling companions. We go out to Applebee's or Chili's afterwards. We eat our meal. Mr. and Mrs. Credible goes back to Connecticut, and we start the long trip back to Binghamton to our hotel room. So, we're heading up the 81, I believe, and we get off at an exit, I believe, right before or right after, I believe, Gibson, the town was, or what have you. So, we get out, refuel, get some coffee, and frickin' Google Maps tells us to go all the way down the street and turn around in what was one of those like turnaround driveways, and then back out and busting a U-ey, and then back on the 81 north back to Binghamton. Well, that's not what happened. We went down the driveway, and we end up going down the side of a mountain up to this clearing where there's these three cars and this building, maybe about the size of this room right here, you know? Not very big, maybe a little bit bigger, where it's 2 stories, mind you, and you could tell there's people in there because there's shadows like going around in the windows and there's lights on, even though the house is completely obviously off the grid. So, mind you, we're in a big-ass pickup truck with a crew cab, so my buddy who was driving busted like a 16-point turn, and mind you, with a trailer hitch on, because he didn't take it off before we left, because, fuck it, whatever, And, manages to get us up the mountain, and mind you, there was, like, cars jacked up in the middle of the woods around us. How they got back there, I do not know, okay? And it didn't really seem like a place we were supposed to be, and it was, like, 2 in the morning, and, there was that real possibility that, someone could just come out and shoot us. So it was a little trying for a minute. And so we get up the mountain, then we get back on the 81, and we're flooring it back to Binghamton now. And I'm, like, looking over my shoulder every, 2 minutes when I see lights on the horizon. Because those who've been and live in the Poconos Mountains, there is no place to run. It's, big and wide open, and there's mountains and everything, but, someone can, seriously just roll up on you, and, there's nowhere to go to, nowhere to call, and so on. So, we get back to the hotel a little bit, shook and, had a few and laughed it off, and then got in the car and next day and went back to Buffalo. So, when I got Credible on the phone with me a few days later, told him the story, he's all like, holy shit. And all he said to me was, you see how people go crazy traveling around for this shit, And Credible can verify this story, and his advice he gave me. So, I don't know, that's the funny reality of being on the road. It's fun and scary all at the same time, so draw your own conclusions. But, yeah, tell me what you think if you want me to tell any more road stories.